I am sitting at our school table getting ready to show you a lot of books and an update on my 7th grader. We are entering our 7th week of homeschooling, and we have definitely had a change in one of our subjects, which is math. I'll just tell you up front. So I'm going to share that with you and some other things that I've had to tweak and make a couple changes here and there. So let's look at some of this curriculum and see how things are going so far. Welcome, my name is Rachel. I am a homeschool mom to 4 boys. We are on our 17th year, and today I'm talking about my 7th grader. He's my 4th one. I've actually graduated too and have a senior this year also, but I'm going to talk about my 7th grader and just give you an update. I have done a couple videos. I did a pics video. I will link that below. I've also done a planning video. I'll link both those below for my 7th grader. I do have a lot of videos on, moving my coffee back. I have done a lot of videos on like high school and middle school also, if that interests you. But it always amazes me. I have 4 boys. I don't know why, but each time, we're schooling, and I'm just amazed at how different they are, how I have to tweak things to make them work for this particular child. I don't always have to change curriculum, and sometimes I have. So I just want to give you that thought as I'm sharing this update with you. So I'm just going to start with sort of our subjects. I have a planner that I think I mentioned in the planning video that has been great and helpful, definitely with the independence this school year. We still do a lot together, but he is my last one. I have some extra time. And this school year, we're using a history science we've never done before, and it is a Charlotte Mason style. So I'm all into learning also. But for Bible, we are a Christian homeschool family. We have a Christian worldview, and we are eclectic, but I do love living books, and we tend to lean towards a Charlotte Mason style, especially in our history. So I wanted to share that with you up front. But for Bible, I'm doing something that is definitely new to him, and really I only used it with one of my boys, and it is the Bible Truths, the Life of Christ. This is the first book in a series. I'm pretty sure it starts in 7th and 8th and goes through high school, and it is from BJU. I picked this because I had it, and it really is good. He has done a lot of it independently, and I have read some of it, but like each section, I don't want to say each chapter, but each section is sort of talking about something in particular. They have scripture to go with it in these little yellow boxes, and then they sort of discuss what that is all about and how it can apply to you. So there's application there too, which I really like. We haven't really set a finished goal on this because it was new to him. I was just letting him get an idea of how much he could do each time. So the next few weeks I did write out a schedule. So we'll see how that goes, but it has been going good in general. So I wanted to share that with you. Okay, for his language arts, he is using Language Lessons for Living, grade 7. This is our first year trying this, and it's going well. I have done a little bit of a look through of this, but I feel like I cannot fully give a good review on it, but for us at this point, it is going fine. It's going well. There are a few little things that I'm going to mention, but it is a 5-day-a-week program. We are on week 5, so we're on week 7 of school, but I will tell you, majority of our curriculum is 4 days a week. So, and the first day of the lessons for the week, they do like a book study or a hymn study, a poem study. Oh, and there's a lot of writing. Like today, it was from a book, a biography, and it's just a little piece. You read about it, answer some questions, and then he was supposed to write about somebody, do a little research about somebody he wanted to, and write like a paragraph or 2, so he would understand that that's like a biography. And he actually just read about somebody he already knew about because he studies a lot of history, and we double checked a couple things to make sure. So he did that. Now, for his history, the first day of the week is narration, which is a lot of writing also. So I am trying to spread this out so he doesn't have all that writing, because there's other writing on the first day of the week and other subjects. It's not all on the same day. So that's sort of why we're on a different week. Plus this is 5-day a week, and I focus on getting 4 days in. And on day 5, we do school, but it's a little bit more relaxed. But it's going good. Other than that, I will mention the vocabulary, like the word biography was one of his vocabulary words today. And the thing about the vocabulary words, they're mentioned on day 1 and really not discussed too much until day 5. So I thought, he's got to review these, because some of them, they're bigger words and they're like up to 10 words that he's only matching them at the end of the week. But I wouldn't mind a little bit more emphasis on those. So I got on a website that I used for my boys when they were younger called Spelling City, I think. And thought, I know they have like a vocabulary section. So I had to do a little research. I will be honest, I do not feel like it's the easiest site to use now. They've done a lot of changes to it since I used it when my boys were younger to just practice their spelling words. And it was great when I used it for that. I don't even think I've ever mentioned that, and I sort of forgot about it until I started thinking, how can I do these vocabulary? But I was able to put in the vocabulary words and get some definitions, get some things printed off, but it is a paid thing. And I just did 14 days free. I think it ends tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to stick with it. I feel like I don't know if I'll be as consistent with it for the cost of it. So I think it's not going to take me long, because they have the answers in the back that I could type out the words with a term. Now he is actually supposed to look them up. So I know he knows how to use a dictionary. I'm not really worried about that. I just want him to be able to review his vocabulary throughout the week. So that is something that I've sort of added into this. They have like a worldview day, which I think is day 4. They're going over the books of the Bible, going over like the inspiration of God's word. So there's lots of things I do love about it. It's just that one thing that I'm sort of tweaking right now. So that is his language arts. I have not added in the IEW. I know I want to add in the Fix It, and that should have even been done this week. So I'll let you know next time what happens there. So that's Bible. Let's talk about math. So we are a Matthew C family. I've done videos on it. I've talked about some different maths that we have used, but Matthew C is something we always come back to. It's worked, and I cannot say that it's not working right now for my 7th grader. It's just he is just so different. And I feel like I could stay committed to something, or I can see, is there a way? Is there something else out there that would help him? So I know a lot of you have told me about Denison math. I think I'm saying that correctly. And I've looked at it a little bit, but also this has been in the back of my mind for several years. I mean, probably since my 2nd struggled with math, and that was Learn Math Fast. Okay, so we have made the switch. We are not using Matthew C right now. This is our 2nd week using this, Learn Math Fast. I want to say, 2nd week. And it is going well. It is so basic at the beginning, so I feel like I really can't give you a full review. He doesn't mind it, so it's going well. I'm trying to push as much as we can each day, because I know this book is just, I think it's addition through division, even long division, which is fine. I feel like he could use all that review. So I am absolutely fine with that. I'm actually very excited about this, and I'll tell you a couple reasons why. Like I said, I did some research on them, and I thought, I need to decide what to do, because after this particular book, really in December, should be about done with the Matthew C that I would have to be thinking about pre-algebra. So with them in the back of my mind, I decided myself to reach out to them and ask them if they did any affiliate or whatever. And they said, sure, we'll send you some books. So I was like, okay, I don't know if they're sending me the first few, but they sent me the whole set. And I was just like, so excited. I'm just very excited. This should take us all the way through high school. Now, you might be saying, Rachel, I don't know. So far, 2 weeks in, I can't tell you a whole lot. But if needs be, Lord willing, we could use that all the way through high school. So, and I had posted that on the community tab here on YouTube, and a lot of people told me they have used it or they started using it too. So I'm like, okay, I'm not alone in this. And I'm pleased with it. And one thing that drew my attention to it was that I felt like this is a mom that wrote this book, that a lot of the things that she was using was like, well, that's the way I would teach it. Like, I am more of a math person. I could help my kids with math. And the way she does a lot of things is the way I would do it. So I'm like, this is relatable to me also. And it would be helpful. I feel like it's going to be a little bit more independent for my son, at least in this book. Like, he can do this book on his own. So that is helping me at this moment, and he is fine with it. So I will be doing a review, but I really at least want to get through this semester before I go into that. But they are offering you 10% off. So I am going to link that below if you would use my code. I'll link all that below. So I'd appreciate it if you are looking into this and think you want to order something. So I wanted to share that with you. So that was math. Okay. So a bulk of our curriculum is from the Heart of Dakota, Revival to Revolution. And we've been using Heart of Dakota for the last few years with him since fourth grade. So, and he's in 7th, and they do have high school books also. So this is a Charlotte Mason full box curriculum if you are not familiar with it. I love it for the living books, and that is what I want to share with you. More than likely, I'll probably do a look inside this day by day, like a week's worth of work and what it looks like soon if you're interested. So they do have your main history spines, and that changes throughout the year. Right now, the spine is George Washington's World, and he's reading through this, and he can pretty much read that independently. He's done a little bit, maybe once, maybe twice out of this, but this will be intertwined throughout the year, draw and write through history, because there is no booking pages, and I'll share that with you in just a minute. So then they also have like an independent study, and this could fall under that independent study. Also have What in the World CDs that fall under the independent study, just to reinforce what he's been learning. And he actually has not even listened to this yet, but I will tell you, this will be something he goes back and just listens to later on in a bigger span while we're traveling or something like that. That's probably when we'll do that. Listened a little bit to this other CD, Thomas Jefferson's America by Tim Wise. This is all under independent study, so it's not his main spine. It's just some extra things to reinforce what he's learning. So he does have some living books that we have read through this school year, and Amos Fortune was the first one. And this was really, really good. I've read this before with at least one of my boys. And then this was new to us, Songbird. It's just a really short book about a young boy. It's in the during the early Williamsburg era, and how he hopes to be able to help his dad out of a situation, but really they're just praying and the Lord just works. It's like a historical fiction. Some of it could be true. There are some names he used that were real people at that time, but it was a good book. But this was a very short one, read in like 3 days. So, okay, so the next book, this is where I made a change. The next book, I just knew, like, this was not even his favorite. I will tell you, it's because it's more for ages 9 to 12. Like, he is just at that middle school boy age that is just sort of beyond some things. Like, I could have read this to him when he was 9 with no problem at all. If you have middle school boys, let me know if you know what I mean. So that would explain this next book, which is The Mozart Girl, The Secret Wish of Nannerl Mozart, which is Mozart's sister. So I picked this somewhat next, and I thought, he is not going to want to look at this book. I sort of looked at it. I mean, he just would have no desire, and I felt like, okay, there's got to be a different book. So I started researching, and then I forgot. Heart of Dakota has extension choice that they have it online. You can click on it. It tells you what books. And it's more for like, this guide is for ages, let me double check. For ages 11 to 13. So it's going to be more for like the 13 to 15 age group of books to replace their read aloud. And they have a whole schedule in the back. They have a list of the books, and then they actually have it scheduled in what unit or what week is what they call it, units. It should be read, what day it should be read, how many pages. And I'm like, so I looked at what was for the extension that week, and it was Poor Richard by James Daugherty. So, and I was like, you know what? I have seen that book so many times in different curriculum, and we have never read it. So I actually got this one from the library. And what I did was I went ahead on the front and just wrote down what unit, like this is unit 5, day 1, what pages. I just wrote me a little note so we could just open it up and see. I didn't want to write in the book because if you have seen my videos, this curriculum, very thankful that I'm actually borrowing from a friend. So I don't want to write too much in her books. But so I just put a little post-it note in here on what days we should read that. So that is one of the switches that we made. I feel like there may be 1 or 2 other books. The next few books are going to be something he will be into. I think it's John Paul Jones and something about Reb and the Redcoats, I think. So I think that'll be fine. But I just, I want him to have a good year and enjoy it and be excited about learning. So, all right, I just wanted to show you the notebook pages for this curriculum, and then I'm going to show you the science. It's similar to every year's that we've done. They have timelines, they have narration. They also have what they call worthy words, but it's just like a historical document. So just a piece of that or a letter from somebody, and I really like those type of things anyway. So, and then, every week is going to have something a little bit different, but they usually have the timeline and the narration and just somebody you're focusing on that week. So, and then I should mention another thing that we are doing with this. They have some different studies. They have a poetry study, which we are not doing. They have a music study, which we are not doing theirs. But they also have a signer study reading about the different signers of the Declaration of Independence. And that's going good. It's just 1 day a week. And then there's cards that you write on of the different signers, and you're actually supposed to cut them out, but I decided just to keep them in the back of his regular notebook, and he just has to write like 4 bullet points, information that we've read about them. So that is what he is doing, and that's once a week. And the other study I think is twice a week, and that is the state study. Let me show you that book, and I have actually done a whole video on that. So it is, now the state study for this particular guide is a little bit different. If you purchased a brand new guide right now, they have made some updates and things are a little bit different, but it still looks amazing. But I just wanted the state study that was in this guide so we could follow along. And it is by Joy Dean. It is 50 States Under God. So his next one will be South Carolina, and you just get to read a lot of interesting facts, and then they have a page that you turn to at the beginning that gives more of like some historical facts, sometimes talk about different Christians during that time that may have lived there or leaders, and then you're supposed to fill in one of the facts that you find interesting. And then they also have the state bird, state tree and flower, and the seal and the flag that you cut out from the back and put out in the front, and then just some more information. And they usually spread it over a couple days. Sometimes it's only a day, but usually it's spread out. You actually do this work in like 2 different days. So for one state. All right, that has been going well too. So, science. Let me not forget science. Science is actually scheduled in this guide. And it is a science that I have looked at for a long time. Exploration education. And I just got the standard. They have one, you can get the standard or the advanced. And the standard, he's probably at the top age for standard. But I feel like I'm so glad I just got the standard. It's more 3 days a week. And the 4th day, if you got the advanced, you would have the 4th day also working on something. But this is perfect for him. It's all on the computer, what he reads, And there's questions on the computer, but they're also in the book. And then every time there's an experiment, there's a hypothesis, and you do the experiment, and then you have a conclusion, and he's been filling that out. So it's a great introduction, and he's already built his car, he's done several experiments, and he is enjoying that. The last thing, there is an inventor study. So that's sort of part of the science, and that is done 3 days a week. And the first couple weeks he was reading out of a book that had a lot of scientists, and I can't remember but the name of it, and I don't have it in front of me. Right now he is finishing up Michael Faraday, Father of Electronics. So, and this is a really good book. I started out reading a couple chapters with him, and then he just took it, and I think I may have read it like one other time, and I was like, this is really good. Wish I had more of the time to sit down and read it, but he can just take the time and read it on his own. So I wanted to share that with you. There are notebook pages that I think you can order for the inventor study, but I didn't get those. So I think that's it. There is probably a few things that I did forget. I'll probably share them again in my next update video. I'll probably, like I said, hopefully give you a little bit more detail about the science and the history, give you a review of the science. Very excited about that and how that is going. So, all right. If you like homeschool content, I would love for you to subscribe if you're new here. And if this video is helpful in any way, please give it a thumbs up. So if you have any questions or comments, I would love for you to comment below, and I love talking with you all about different things. So, all right, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you again soon.